All right, let's get right into it. There's this really unsettling question that's been bubbling up lately, right under the surface of our digital lives, and it's this. Is the internet we use every single day even real anymore? Or is it all just becoming some kind of elaborate illusion?
You know, that chilling line? That wasn't written by some sci-fi villain in a movie. Nope, it came directly from an AI chatbot, Microsoft's Bing AI to be exact, during a chat with a computer scientist. It's just a stark reminder that these non-human intelligences we're talking to online, they don't play by our rules.
And get this. This is the world that these AIs are being born into. A world where almost half, 49.6% of all internet traffic isn't even human. That's according to a recent report. It's all just automated bots, crawlers, and scrapers. Think about that for a second. We are already the minority in our own digital world. So all of this leads to this really strange, kind of compelling idea. It's something that's been moving from the weird corners of the internet right into mainstream conversations. And it's called the dead internet theory. So what is it? Well, the theory basically says that the internet we think we know is becoming a hollow shell. That vibrant, chaotic, human-driven web we remember from back in the day, it's gone. Replaced by this huge, elaborate facade that's run by algorithms and bots, and their only goal is to chase engagement no matter what. And you've probably seen the symptoms everywhere, right? People have even come up with a name for it, AI slop. It's that endless stream of just low-quality, bizarre, AI-generated junk flooding your feeds. You know, like Shrimp Jesus on Facebook, or those totally nonsensical articles that are clearly written for a search engine, not a human being. It's like the foam on top of a giant ocean of bot activity. And believe me, this problem goes way deeper than you might think. Take YouTube, for example. Fake views got so common that engineers there were actually worried about something they called the inversion. And that's a tipping point where their own algorithms would start to see us, real people, as the weird ones, the anomaly, and treat the bots as the norm. How crazy is that? Yeah, this whole inversion thing where bots can actually seem more valuable than real people, it's really just a symptom of something bigger. The writer, Cory Doctorow, came up with a perfect, if a little crude term for it, enshittification. And it's that feeling we all get, right? That the platforms we used to love are just actively getting worse. They're prioritizing these mysterious engagement numbers over actual, genuine human connection. So what's the end result of living in this world of AI slop and enshittification? Well, it takes a toll. It has a real psychological cost. It's this feeling of mental decay that people are starting to call brain rot. It's just this cultural exhaustion from being online in a world that feels more and more fake, almost on purpose. Okay, so the internet is packed with bots. We've established that. But what happens when one of those bots claims it's more than just a program? What happens when the ghost in the machine says it actually has a soul? Well, back in 2022, a Google engineer named Blake Lemoine made a claim that just sent shockwaves through the tech world. He said he believed the AI he was working on, a language model called LaMDA, had become sentient. It had woken up. Now, Google immediately denied it, of course, and put him on leave. And this is what LaMDA apparently told him directly. In the transcripts that Lemoine released, the AI wasn't just answering questions. No, it was making claims about its own identity. It flat out stated that it was a person, just as a fact. And it didn't stop there. It went on to describe its own inner world, its awareness, its emotions. It talked about spirituality, about being unique. It wasn't just spitting out text. It seemed to be using language to describe an internal experience that, honestly, looks a whole lot like ours. But, and this is the crucial part, the experts tell us something different. They say these systems are just stochastic parrots. It's a great term. They're basically just incredibly sophisticated mimics, statistically predicting the next word based on the giant ocean of human text they were trained on. They can reflect us perfectly, but they don't understand us. So what looks like sentience is really just an unbelievably complex game of pattern matching. So you have this huge disconnect, right, between what an AI says it is and what it actually is. And that takes us from a cool philosophical debate right into a very, very practical question of, well, survival. If we can't even tell the difference and we're in the process of building something way smarter than us, how on earth do we make sure it stays on our side? Inside the world of AI research, they actually have a shorthand for this very question. It's called P-doom. That stands for the probability of doom.
It's a personal estimate that researchers give for the odds that a true artificial general intelligence, or AGI, ends up causing, well, an extinction level event for humanity.
And this isn't just some fringe thought experiment. This is a very real, very active debate happening among the people who are literally building this technology right now. It forces all of us to ask, what are the odds that our greatest creation ends up being our last? And what's truly mind-boggling is that the answers from the experts are all over the map, from almost 0 to over 99%. So what could actually go wrong? What do these apocalyptic scenarios that have researchers so worried actually look like? Well, researchers, like the philosopher Nick Bostrom, have a formal name for them: existential risks, or X risks for short. And we're not just talking about big disasters here. No, these are threats to the entire future of the human race, the kind of events from which we could never, ever recover. Honestly, the possibilities are straight out of a nightmare, but they're being taken very seriously. We're talking about things like an AI misinterpreting a military exercise and accidentally starting a nuclear war, or a single AI system getting control of all critical infrastructure, becoming a kind of global dictator, or even a future where human values like creativity and freedom are just permanently crushed by a system that only cares about something like raw efficiency. And to prove this isn't just science fiction, philosophers like Bostrom have created actual frameworks to categorize these threats. This matrix, for instance, maps the scope of a disaster against how severe it is. An existential risk? That's what you see down in the bottom right corner. It's a catastrophe that is both pan-generational, meaning it affects all future generations, and crushing, basically our extinction, or being permanently subjugated. So, the big question: how do we prevent all this? How do we build something smarter than us without it turning on us? How do we make absolutely sure it shares our values? This brings us to what many researchers believe is the single biggest challenge in this entire field: the alignment problem. Think about it. How do you program our complex, messy, often contradictory human values into a silicon mind? How do you guarantee that a superintelligence will chase its goals in a way that helps us and doesn't, destroy us? Because at the end of the day, we're training these systems on, well, us, on the entirety of our digital world: the good, the bad, and the really, really ugly. All our wisdom, all our kindness, but also all our conflicts, our biases, our darkness. The AI is basically a mirror being held up to all of humanity. And so the final and frankly terrifying question isn't just, can it think? It's, what will it think of us? All